Health and peace and happiness for everyone. Ashreinu matov chelkeinu, how good and beautiful is our heritage. Parashat Titzave, Tafshin Peibet. 3 questions about Parashat Titzave. Parashat Truma gave us the commandment to build the Mishkan itself. Parashat Titzave continues that with the commandment to prepare the Bigdei Kehuna, the garments of the Kohanim. Then the parasha tells us what needs to be done in order to sanctify or dedicate the Kohanim for their mission, for their role in the Mishkan. And then the Torah brings the commandment to bring the Korban Tamid, the Korban that is brought Tamid, always, every day of the year, in the morning and in the afternoon. But what is that doing here in Sefer Shmot, in Parashat Titzave? The Korbanot will be commanded in Sefer Vayikra. One list of Korbanot we'll mention later in Sefer Bamidbar. What is the commandment about Korban Tamid doing here with the commandments to build and prepare what's necessary for the Mishkan? That's question number 1. Question number 2, this commandment will appear again in Sefer Bamidbar, Perek Kafchet, Parashat Pinchas, where the Torah commands about these special sacrifices, the Korbanot, of every Shabbat and Chag, and it begins with the Korban Tamid. I understand that there it's fitting every day Shabbat and Chagim. But there the Torah says something special. There the Torah says that this is like the sacrifice that we brought at Har Sinai. But why mention Har Sinai here in Sefer Bamidbar, where the Torah is commanding to bring the Korban Tamid, this Korban that we bring every day? That's question number 2. And question number 3 is, why bring the commandment twice? Also in Sefer Shmot and also in Sefer Bamidbar. Indeed, these questions have been asked throughout the generations by the Chachamim of the Torah. We can't elaborate here, but offer one idea, one suggestion relating to all 3 of these questions, because it seems that these 3 questions complement one another and answer each other. So let's start with the first question. The Torah is bringing us to the time that we will dedicate the Mishkan. We'll build the Mishkan, prepare the Bigdei Kehuna. Everything, when you perform a mitzvah or do something else in life the first time, there's excitement, there's enthusiasm. But the Torah is saying that's not enough. You also have to be consistent, to bring a korban, to come meet with Hashem every day, every morning, every afternoon. Not just the enthusiasm of the beginning, but to continue that continuously, daily in the Mishkan. So that's why in this week's parasha, the Torah says not only create the Mishkan, also bring a korban, a sacrifice, every day, always, tamid. And what about where it's brought again in Sefer Bamidbar? Why does it mention there Har Sinai? Truly, towards the end of Parashat Mishpatim, the Torah mentions a korban that Bnei Israel bring at Har Sinai. There is a discussion, a disagreement, a machloket amongst Tanaim in Masechet Chagiga, Daf Vav. By the way, Daf Vav Zayin, by the way, Masechet Chagiga, we are just about to start in the Daf Yomi. And there they argue whether the Korban there was Korban Tamid or it was the commandment to bring the Korban Tamid. But there again, it's mentioned in Har Sinai. And why is that mentioned again in Sefer Bamidbar? Because in Sefer Bamidbar, it's the exact opposite of what we found here in Sefer Shmot. There, the commandment is about all the Korbanot that we bring regularly, every day, Shabbat, every Chag. And the Torah wants to remind us that it's not just routine. Whenever we bring the Korban, we shouldn't just be thinking of, again, another Korban Tamid, again, every Shabbat. But we should be reminded of Ma'amad Har Sinai, of the first time of this tremendous encounter with Hashem, and have the enthusiasm of the first time as we go along later on. And that is the reason, to answer question number 3, why the Torah brings the commandment in 2 different places, so that it will create this balance. And this is true about the Mishkan, the Mikdash, which is the heart of all of our mitzvot. And this is true about all the mitzvot, and actually about other aspects of life as well. On the one hand, have enthusiasm, but don't think of the enthusiasm only. You also have to have consistency. You have to do things daily, and that makes them serious. You have to do them tamid. On the other hand, when you do things continuously, it might become just routine, just something that you're bored of already. No. Always remember the first time that you did it, and try to bring that renewal and that excitement and that special strength that you have when you did it the first time. Try to bring that into every time that you do that, whether it's a mitzvah or a good deed or whether it's relationships with people, whether it's marriage or where you go to work. The first time you got accepted to the job, you were happy about it, and then you're getting bored of it. Try to bring that enthusiasm with you when you go to work, and so on. And here we see how the Torah, in the different parts where it mentions Korban Tamid, puts this whole picture together, and we should try and be aware of these sensitivities in all of the mitzvot that we perform, and as I said, in other past aspects of our lives. Be'atzlacha. Shabbat Shalom.